We continue to talk ETBU Tiger football here today on the ETBU Extra Show. Just got through talking to David James, a member of the Tiger football team, one of the senior captains, and now we are joined by another senior captain, Kendall Roberson, who wears number 2 from Lubbock, Texas. And Kendall, as you went into this senior year, did you think that in one game you would get 420 yards rushing?
There is no possible way I ever thought that, period. Just 300-yard game is – a 200-yard game is something to think about, you know. And, you know, those are the games as a running back we dream of, you know. And it's like, oh, man, I hope I can get a 200-yard game. And then I had one, and it was like, you know, what about a 300? And then you hear 400, and, you know, you think of video game type stuff. But, I mean, it was just a blessing, you know, to be a part of such a culture and such a history and record-breaking that, I mean, it's something I enjoyed. So, no, I mean, I never thought any time in any part of my career I'd ever get 400 yards.
Of course, Kendall, a running back for the Tigers. He had that game against Belhaven. Tigers finished 7-3 in year 4-1 conference play. That 4-1 conference mark allows them to win an American Southwest Conference championship, tying with Hardin-Simmons and Mary Hardin-Baylor. Kind of tell me, have you ever won a championship playing in high school?
I've been to playoffs only one time in my whole career. It's my junior year, and I've never won a championship for anything. You know, I've played YFL, junior high, anything. I've never won a championship, so this will be my first.
So earlier this week on campus, Amy Carlton from the American Southwest Conference, the commissioner, came to present the trophy to the team as well as your ASC championship T-shirts. Kind of explain what you're thinking about as all that was playing for, because you was up front receiving that trophy because being a team captain as well as a senior on this squad. What was you going through your mind as all that was transcribing Monday afternoon?
I mean, still to this moment, it's just kind of unbelievable. You know, you've played and you've trained and you've worked, you know, blood, you know, sweat and tears all your life, and then, you know, watching a ASC representative come and hand you something that you've worked so hard for, not just this year, but in the summer and in the past years. You know, we watched, you know, guys ahead of us, you know, try to do the same thing, and for you to be able to stand in front with the, you know, the seniors that you worked and grinded with, get something so special, you know, it's a true honor, you know, it's a true testimony of God, you know, he never leaves you, you know, so it's a great feeling.
Of course, Kendall, you had over 1,600 yards rushing this year, and I know you, and I know you're a very humble young man. You couldn't have done it without some guys in front of you. Talk about that offensive line and how they opened up holes for you this year.
Oh, man, those guys are by far the most incredible young, remarkable guys I've ever played around. And, you know, in my heart, you know, they're all, you know, equal. I mean, they all do the same job, you know, and they just make me look better. You know, 1,600 yards is the most I've ever rushed for in a season. And by far, this is the strongest season I've ever had. But, you know, we've had, you know, that's a big effort and big credit for those guys. You know, T. Scott, man, that's my brother, you know, and every play, you know, he's playing, he's banged up, and, you know, seeing him out there and CJ and Pat Griff and all those guys just working hard, it makes me go even harder. And those guys are just the best offensive line in the ASC, and they're all conference, all of them. You know, it's a blessing. Those guys are great.
Well, Kendall, I know you have next step is to graduate from East Texas Baptist University. What's after that, after you graduate? What do you want to do with your life?
Right now, I'm thinking about moving to Colorado. I have some family members out there that work in some institutions that work with kind of like physical therapy, and so I'm thinking about going back and getting my master's and, you know, trying to work around you know, athletes and trying to do something along those lines.
I asked David James this question. In 30 years, when you're sitting around with your buddies, sitting around your family, and someone sees that ring on your finger that you haven't gotten yet, but you will be getting a conference ring, what do you think you'll tell them about this special season that happened at ETBU in 2015?
Well, you know, I'll let them know that this ring, you know, it looks great. And at times, you know, a lot of people get blinded by, you know, just, oh, you know, it was great, you know, but I'll let them know, you know, all the sacrifices this team and the coaching staff and everyone involved have made. You know, I'll let them know that this group of guys and the boys I played with, they were different, they were special, and they were all men of God. And they trusted God's plan, and they trusted the coaches, and we all trusted each other. So this ring is beautiful, but it's a lot of things that comes with it. And, you know, I'll be sure to explain it to them. I'm like DJ. I'm going to wear that thing until I'm 50, 60, you know.
Well, Kendall, it's been fun to say there's a Tiger in the end zone, and his name is Kendall Roberson, and best to you in the future, and I know God has great plans for you as well as your whole team. Thank you for being a part of ETBU, and thank you for being part of this special season. and we're going to continue to talk Tiger football. So you go sit and listen to your next teammate coming up here, and you can make funny faces at him if you want to and try to get him to break up, but you don't have to do that. Well, Kendall Roberson has been our guest, and we'll continue to talk Tiger football when we come back on ETBU Extra.